I'm 37.
What?
I'm 37, I'm not old.
Hello, viewing several. Here we are again. There have been some plaintive voices over the last couple of months, appearing every now and then in the comments. Just a gentle utterance, barely audible, of
Lana. Lana. Lana!
Alright, I hear you. It's been a while. I'm back on it now. I've been wanting to get through Lana's back catalogue before the new release that's coming out next month, so we're carrying on down that train with today's album. Now, the title and the album artwork and the overall vibe I just get from it is probably going to be one of the most melancholy pieces of art about stairs since...
Halfway down the stairs is a stair where I sit.
I adore that song. I've loved that song since I was maybe 5 years old. If I was the kind of person that actually, believed in funerals and services and put stuff in my will, I think I'd honestly put that song on there. Let's see if one of these songs makes it on there too. Let's crack on. Lana Del Rey, Blue Banisters. It's hot as hell in here today, so there is a fan on. I'm going to make sure I hydrate. So if the fan messes with my already poor audio quality, I apologise.
I guess you could call it textbook. I was looking for the fall.
I've missed that voice.
I want it back. And I thought I found in Brentwood.
Yeah, I'm loving the familiar cinematic quality to this production. That littling of the guitar and the echoey effect is lovely.
And then there was the issue of her. I didn't even like myself or love the life I had. You got a Thunderbird, my daddy.
Nice little shift.
Let's rewrite his story. I'll do this dance with you. You know I'm not that girl. You know I'll never be. Maybe just the way we're different could set me free. I wish I was
another shift here. Like, already we've got some interesting shifts going on, because you got that sort of, for want of a better term, beat drop when we got into the chorus, and now we've got this other shift where we've got this different production and instrumentation coming in, and the pace has changed. This is really interesting because it's the same song, but it's got several movements, like a symphony, or that probably sounded really pretentious and it's probably wrong anyway, but either way, this is really interesting because I've got familiar sounds with her vocal and her production, but they're playing around a little bit by giving these subtle shifts in tone, which is always fun to hear. I love it when any song does that. Another little shift. Back to the feel and the tone of the beginning, but I love the drumming as well. It's really scattershot and jazzy, and with the echoey effects. I'm loving the atmosphere.
I never felt jealous before this year, but I'm jealous now. In your back, finally I met you, so I'm not wondering why. You got a Thunderbird, my daddy had one too. Let's rewrite his story. I'll do this dance with you. There we were, screaming Black Lives Matter.
I'm loving those two shifts from the chorus beat drop to this. It's beautiful.
I scream
Yes, okay, strong opener, liking that a lot. I was paying so much attention to the production and those little shifts and just the tone that it was setting. I probably wasn't paying that much attention to the lyrics, I'll be honest, so I'm going to have a little look at those. Okay, so it's obviously sort of reminiscing, it's about like first loves, but there's references as well to well, what would have been at the time, like activism and things going on, like the reference in the chorus where, you know, there we were screaming Black Lives Matter in the crowd by the Old Man River, and you saw who I am. So it's like within that setting, discovering a kindred spirit and soul with shared values as well as attraction and other, you know, love and affection. Also referencing her dad. In the sense of, again, maybe that's a nostalgic thing of like, you know, this reminds, you know, you, problematically or not, I don't know, you know, remind me of my father, or I wish my father was here to see this and to see who I've become and where I am. Either way, it's got a beautiful tone to it, even if I didn't pay enough attention to the lyrics. I'll try my best to pay more attention to them going forward, but sonically it's just lovely, and it's really great to be back in this setting with her, because I love her vocals, I love the choices she makes with her production, and I feel like this is setting the table out as to what this album's going to be like.
There's a picture on the wall of me on a John Deere. Jenny handed me a beer, said, how the hell did you get there? Oklahoma.
Again, vocally, like the storytelling in this style.
She was swimming with Nikki Lane. She said, most men don't want a woman with a legacy, it's her vein. She said, you can't be amused, be happy too. You can't blacken the pages with Russian poetry and be and that scared me. Cause I met a man who said he'd come back every May just to help me if I paint my banisters blue, blue banisters blue.
Yeah, again, vocally, interesting when she's doing that moment where when she says like the word happy, that intonation and that run that she does there. And again, with the production and the vocal, we're creating an atmosphere, we're creating this quite oppressive and melancholy setting. There's reminiscing in, you know, that nostalgic feel we've had in lots of her previous tracks, but this feels sadder almost than even the first song. I'll definitely have more of a deep dive into the lyrics, I think, afterwards.
There's a hole that's in my heart. All my women try and heal. They're doing a good job convincing me that it's not real. It's heat lightning.
I'm loving the variation in her style. There's this sort of harsh, almost like spoken word almost, and then you have her lilting tone now of
Now when weather turns to May, all my sisters come to paint my banisters green, my blue banisters green.
This banisters metaphor, I really want to get into that.
In the bay, Chuck is making birthday cake. Summer comes, winter goes, spring I sleep. Heaven knows, every time it turns to May. All my
Such a beautiful sound, just that subtle piano, and I mean, her vocal will never cease to enthrall me. Yes, another beautiful, haunting track. I really want to look up the lyrics though and get a feel for. There's a metaphor there about the Banisters that's going over my head. Okay, so apparently when she teased a snippet of the song on Instagram, back in the day, it was with a caption saying, "Sometimes life makes you change just in time for the next chapter." Okay, so it felt like it was talking about not just herself but some other people going through changes in life, and maybe the painting of the Banisters is about that. Apparently the lyrical content is reminiscent of a 1970 Joni Mitchell song, Ladies of the Canyon, in which every verse is about a friend of Joni's. Lana talks about her friends Jenny and Nikki throughout the verses and the pre-choruses. Jenny was smoking in the pool, we were writing with Nikki Lane, I said I'm scared of the Santa Clarita fires, I wish that it would rain. I'm still not 100% getting the Banisters metaphor, but I like it. I mean, I love the imagery and the painting of it, different colours at different chapters in your life. It may just be that. I don't know if there's more meaning there that, again, I'm missing. I'm sure you'll let me know. Be kind. Sometimes I am quite slow, no matter how pretentious and highbrow I like to pretend to be.
My body is a map of LA. I stand straight like an angel with a halo hanging out the Hilton Hotel window, screaming, "Hey, baby, let's go." My chest, the Sierra Madre. My hips, every high and byway that you trace with your fingertips like a Toyota. Run your hands over me like a Land Rover in Arcadia.
The production and the vocal, as always, just beautiful.
All roads that lead to you as integral to me as arteries.
Loving the pitch here.
The blood that flows straight to the heart of me, America.
Sure, if I understood, LA's geography, I'd get the references a bit better. I mean, she's being quite overt about which parts of her body in the map of LA represent what. I'm now wondering where Arcadia is meant to, symbolise. The strings and the piano, brass too. Love the instrumentation.
My heart is like paper. I hate you. I can't sleep at home tonight. Send me a hero hotel.
When her vocal does that, when she goes from like that sultry tone to a higher register, it's lovely. It's so soothing and dramatic.
They built me up 300 feet tall just to tear me down, so I'm leaving with nothing but laughter in this town, Arcadia. Thanks for that. On the way, I'll pray for ya, but you'll need a miracle, America.
Yeah, just beautiful. Clearly there's a message in there about her relationship to her surroundings, to her country, to the city she finds herself in, and how she feels like she's a part of it. And yet there's also the element where it mentions building her up 300 feet tall only to tear her down. Thanks for that. On the way I'll pray for you, but you'll need a miracle, America. So yeah, it's not just the metaphor of, my body represents the city, or, I represent where I am. It's about the relationship between her and this world she inhabits, and all the positive and it seems there's a lot of negative that comes with that. Fun interlude. Spaghetti western style. Ooh. That's fun. I like that. Not enough albums, and indeed long films, have an interlude anymore. That was fun. I like that. Just that little snippet with the trumpet and the strings and, you know, that spaghetti western feel, and then just dropping in that beat just to change it up. And yeah, that was enjoyable. All of the production choices so far have been wonderful, by the by. I'm sure I've already said it, but the use of sound, the instrumentation, the whole vibe is just great.
Grenadine, quarantine, I like you alive. SLA on Zoom, target parking lot.
Oh, that's interesting. A much more breathy sound.
And this is the end. I want a boyfriend, someone to eat ice cream with and watch television. 'Cause my body is my temple, my heart is one too. The only thing that still fits me is this black bathing suit. You don't know me
Great
any
lyric.
better than they do, baby. You said I was bad, let me show you how bad girls do.
That's a fun switch up.
No one does it better. You said I was bad, let me show you how bad girls do. 'Cause no one does it better.
Again, the little switch ups, the variation in sort of vocally and instrumentally. I mean, the sort of really, really subtle percussion in the background at the beginning I really liked. Felt quite jazzy and like not hitting a standard sort of 4/4 rhythm in a way. I mean, lyrically, there's reference here to quarantine and COVID, I think, and sense of isolation and wanting connection and wanting love. No doubt there was a lot of interaction on social media as with a lot of people, so a healthy dose of, you know, bad attention and bad speculation, as well as, you know, it being the only window you had to other people when you wanted something more real and tangible and, you know, couldn't have it.
So I'm not friends with my mother, well, I still love my dad, and traditional lover. Can you handle that? I guess I'm complicated. My life's
That
what I
whispered
do. I wish you could
confessional
see
style,
through
and then you
my
drop in the beat
soul
and you get
through
more of
this
a fuller tone.
You don't know me any better than they do, baby. Fucking broke and we're laughing about it. Me when you get the blues.
Ooh.
We'll have the last laugh about it. By the way, thanks for the shoes. Your inches really made stacks. Really made stacks.
This outro is amazing.
Really made stacks.
Especially there with the outro, that the drum patterns and again the vocals changing up and becoming almost like a suppressed scream. Just felt much more raw, and then in other times you have like a whispery tone and obviously a more fuller one. All the variation in the production, the instrumentation and her vocal is still just a joy to listen to. I really love the experimentation, and you never are 100% sure between verse, chorus, outro. You always get something else. There's a different flavour. But again, tonally, it's all there. It's melancholic. It's kind of bitter. a little bit cheeky and playful at times too. Everything is on display just within the one track, and it's felt that way with, I mean, we're very early doors here, but with most of the tracks there's been that really fun mixture of themes and styles. This is really strong. Anytime there's that subtle piano and that vocal style, I love it.
Dreamy nights, talk to me with that whiskey breath. Told me twice, treat you like a holiday. Don't say you're over me, baby, it's already too late. Just do what you do best with me. Dance me all around the room. Spin me like a ballerina super high.
Again, the switch up vocally and the layering there
Light
with
me up like the 4th of July. Once, twice, 3 times the guy I ever thought I would meet. So don't say you're over me, but we both know that you lie.
Again, I'll be a broken record on this one, I know, where I keep bringing it up, but the change up in vocal style and, you know, switching things up production wise, I feel this is just the overall theme, as it has been with like previous projects where there's experimentation and there's a sense of her doing exactly what she wants to do. As much as people probably really, well, obviously do love her and her work, it's commercially and critically successful, but it doesn't feel like, you know, a prototypical pop song. Like, none of them really do. There's a real artistic honesty in it, and that's one of the things I really like about Lana, is that it feels like, as it is with someone like Mitski, where they're doing what they want to do, they're expressing what they want to express exactly how they want to do it, with no sense that this is, oh, this will play really well on the radio, or, you know, this hook or this lead up into a chorus will really get them. I mean, maybe that's there too, I don't know, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels honest.
La 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 la. When you lay down right next to me, get your jacket on, be a gentleman. Get into your truck and pick me up at 8. Dance me all around the room. Spin me like a ballerina super high. Dance me all around the moon. Like 6 times till I'm sick and I cry. Once, twice,
It's funny because it's romantic in a way, but it also feels really, maybe just that's because of the way it's produced, it feels very melancholic as well. I mean, those things can go hand in hand, to be fair, but she has that quality to a lot of her songs, I feel like. Love when there's an inclusion of things like brass, just, again, not an orthodox use of instruments from like a pop perspective, I feel like, you know, and the jazzy quality too, to the rhythm and the tone. See, this just feels like 1930s, 40s style, you know, with just the tone of it. Yeah, another just great track with really inspiring almost and interesting choices in the production and the instrumentation. It's just great stuff. If every track begins with a soft piano of any sort, I'll just be thrilled, because it's just a lovely tone and sound and in keeping with the album.
Just keep it simple, babe. Don't make it complicated. Don't tell me to be glad when I'm sad. I really hate that. I try not to be bad. Eccentricity's holding me back. If I could be more like you, I would, but I can't, and I'm glad about that.
Oh, God.
What if someone had asked, asked so not to be sad? Never known who he was or the man he'd become. There would be no blue period. Let me run with the wolves. Let me do what I'll do. Let me show you how sadness can turn into happiness. I can turn blue into something beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, you can. 100%.
Beautiful like you.
God, the way that she has such a soft, fragile tone, and then it just soars, even though it stays quite, I mean, low key. She's not really belting, but she just produces that sound that it feels vulnerable and fragile, but it still has a lot of power behind it. And along with the plinky plonky piano and the overall tone and message of the lyrics, it's just lovely. It's in keeping with the title. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful sound that I always feel like I want to just close my eyes and just sway and not even analyze, just enjoy the tone and the vibe that she's giving out on it.
Let's keep it simple, babe. We can't afford to
This
change
husky
it.
tone, this
Don't turn me into
confessional,
something
almost
wrong.
like sultry
No way to stay.
feel, and then
I try not to hold back.
that shift into that higher register, dreamlike.
If you think that that's cool, then I'll take you back. Let me show you how sadness can turn into happiness. I can turn blue into something beautiful. Beautiful.
Can't overstate how wonderful the piano is here. The accompaniment with her vocal patterns and her shifts. It's so simple, but it's really, really effective. It's almost discordant, like the hitting the keys hard, but also hitting them really soft and gentle, like. Hot damn, I love that. I love the just that almost like dueling piano where you have like a really almost discordant feel to the lower register, and then just the tapping away at the higher end, and it's in keeping with her vocal as well, where it's low and sultry, then high, and again fragile but still really powerful and full of emotion and full of sentiment, and I really love that.
There's something in the air. The girls are running round in summer dresses with their masks off, and it makes me so happy. Larchmont Village smells like lilies of the valley, and the bookstore doors are opening, and it's finally happening. Ever since I fell out of love with you, I fell back in love with me. And boy, does it feel sweet, like a summer breeze. Since I fell out of love
Great
with
lyrics.
you, I fell back in love with the city, like the Paramount sign sparkling, sparkling just for me. You made me trade my violets for roses. You tried to trade in my new truck for roses. Don't forget all of these things that you love are the same things I hate. A simple life, I chose this.
Love it. It feels anthemic almost, like tonally with the production. You know, And it feels celebratory whilst it still has that sort of somber tone, but it feels celebratory because it seems to reference, you know, the end of lockdown and people finally coming out into the world and re-experiencing it, and her referencing the fact that, and it may be a reference to the actual lockdown and COVID or to a person, but like saying, since I've fallen out of love with you, I've loved myself. Like it's, you're trading up, you're reinventing yourself or rediscovering yourself, trading the violets for roses. It's a lovely sentiment, and the lyrics are great, as they have been throughout, but it feels anthemic with that production choice, particularly there in the chorus.
Trade of violets for roses.
Anytime that they do layering like that with her vocals as well, just a beautiful effect.
There's something in the air, I hope it doesn't change, that it's for real, the beginning of something big happening. And by the mare, the rallies in the streets have ceased, and still the shadows haunt the avenue. Silence is deafening.
The use of the strings as well, but again, the cinematic quality to a production and her composition is always delightful.
Don't forget all of these things that you love are the same things I hate. Trade of violets for roses.
Love that subdued, echoey effect.
In the air, the girls are running around in summer dresses with their masks off, and it makes me so happy.
Back to the motif from the beginning. Vocally, production-wise, again, just knocking it out of the park. Like I say, the general feeling of it being, anthemic, it feeling like it's a return to something, or it's a celebration of sorts, even though there's that sad undertone to it. There's an overall sense of possibility and positivity, you know, within the lyric and within the music itself. Almost giving Portishead. A weird reference maybe, but that's just what I'm feeling right now.
Please don't try to find me through my tears.
Who's this featuring?
He won't pick up his phone. Please don't try my father either.
I like it.
He ain't been home for years.
Loving that vocal quality and that tone.
I know I'm no spirit seeker.
Give you all my money, give you all my money, give you all my money. I don't wanna live.
Ooh.
I don't wanna give you nothing.
Now.
'Cause you never give me nothing back. Why can't you be good for something?
Okay, first of all, need to look up who that is. Oh, Miles Kane. That name feels familiar, but I don't know why. Oh, the Last Shadow Puppets. I'm very, very passingly familiar with them. I think I only heard literally a couple of tracks a while ago now. Loving his contribution. Yeah, loving his vocal. But Jesus Christ, that's a tone that we have not heard a lot of from her. I mean, tonally, in keeping with the rest of the album, this feels like a real shift, and I like it a lot. Like I say, the beginning with that drum, and just the tone of it just reminds me of something you might hear at the beginning of a track on like a Portishead song, like from Dummy, and then having that belt, that sort of rageful, desperate cry from her when she comes in the chorus there. Oh, I love that. I really love that.
Why can't you be good for something?
Back to a more familiar sound.
One share of you.
Please don't try to find me through my dealer.
They are working so well together here. Their vocals and their tone, just perfect synergy.
But he's gone now for the weekend.
I check it, I wreck it, and I was late. I gave you all my money, gave you all my money, gave you all my money, gave you all my money. I don't wanna
Oh, I'm in love with this vocal. And all the while, just that and the bass, just so subtle.
Circuits are busy. You're high. All circuits are busy. Goodbye. All circuits are busy. You're high.
Spoiler alert, that's a standout track right there. Wow. Just, yeah. Kudos to, Miles Kane. That wonderful contribution. And like I say, that shift in her vocal tone, that wail, that cry is haunting. Fantastic. Like, just such a different feel to the other tracks on the album. I mean, if everything had stayed the same from Textbook, all the way through, vocally and generally, I wouldn't have been the least bit sad about that. But I like that there's been this sudden shift, this sudden, just like a shot in the arm of, we're going to do something a bit different now, and we're going to hit you with something you weren't expecting. Piano and strings, forever and ever, amen.
You roll like thunder when you come crashing in. Down ain't been the same since you left with all your friends. You roll like thunder when you come crashing in. Regattas.
Great line, lovely lyric and vocal.
That's why you're visiting. You act like fucking Mr. Brightside when you're with all your friends. But I know what you like when the party ends. Just do it. Just do it. Don't wait.
Another one that's just so simple, loving just the subtle introduction of the guitar there as well, but piano and strings, familiar vocal production choices, and thematically very familiar ground, but so beautifully expressed. She could do 15 tracks in a row singing about the same thing, and I wouldn't be too sad about it, to be honest, because it's just such a pleasure to hear her express whatever she's expressing, whatever vocal style she chooses. It's just beautiful.
You roll like thunder, pouring all your drinks. The party's lit and you, my friend, half cut when it begins. You roll like thunder.
Great storytelling, great metaphor as well. The rolling like thunder.
That lightning in the bottle, that moonbeam in your hand. Just do it, don't wait.
Loving that inclusion of the vocal in the background, that choral effect.
Just do it. Just do it, don't wait. But if you're on fire, just keep burning. Keep me high.
Again, production choices are spot on. Introduction of the sort of the choir effect with the vocal in the background. The, you know, great little build-ups with the drums, not like overpowering. The drums are always really subtle, even if they, you know, they're not just gently tapping on like a cymbal or whatever, but when they're doing a little roll, it just feels, it's never overpowering or, you know, too loud. It all has a certain level to it that's low-key and somber, and the whole just vibe of it, as with pretty much every other track at this point, is just sad, but beautiful, you know. A combination I always enjoy when you're expressing something that's mournful or regretful or just bad, but you use such wonderful instrumentation and beautiful vocals that, you know, you're happy to listen to it.
Here's the deal, 'cause I know you want to talk about it. Here's the deal, I promise you like a million tomorrows. Here's the deal, what I can promise is all I down like a bed of wildflowers, and always make the sheets smell like gardenias while at your feet, and I nourish you hazily, baby. I've been running on stardust alone for so long. I wouldn't know what hot fire was. Hot fire, hot weather, hot coffee. I'm better with you. It's strange, but it's true, darling. Not to turn into
Again, all the little shifts vocally, I love it.
to light up your night with only my smile. Nothing that burns. Baby, I'll be like a wildflower. I live on sheer willpower. I'll do my best.
Love that line.
Turn into something.
Again, those shifts vocally, love it whenever it happens. Whatever change comes in her vocal style within the course of a song, it's always a delight to hear. And again, just that fairly simple accompaniment on the piano, you know, thematically and lyrically, familiar territory again, but as always, there's usually through her switch-ups vocally, it still feels unique, it still feels like there's a different story being told. And as always, it's just lovely to listen to.
Here's the deal, my father never stepped in when his wife would rage at me, so I ended up awkward but sweet. Later than hospitals, stand still on my feet. Better, so I turn, but I learn.
Love that extra vocal effect.
Into a wildfire to light up your night with only my smile and nothing that hurts. Baby,
Even something different percussion-wise there. That sound is different from what we've heard before.
I promise that nothing will burn you. Like it is, baby, burn.
The hits just keep on coming. Just, yeah. Vocally and production-wise, I'm really just loving the overall vibe of this album. I've slept too long on Lana to begin with when I first started this journey, and I've definitely waited too long to, listen to something else from her. So, lesson learnt. Need to not have such a big gap between.
What cruel world is this, nectar of the gods? Heroin, gold in my veins, you in my thoughts.
I just love her lyrics. I love her whole vibe is just so intoxicating sometimes.
I call you up twice, hang up the phone, call again, I wanna talk. I get wild on you, baby. I get wild and fucking crazy like you never knew.
Loving the use of guitar here rather than piano as well. Just a little change up from what we've heard before. And as always, the vocals are very much on point, and again, it is intoxicating. Just listening to that vocal and listening to her tell her stories. And while I'm just sat here just staring at her, essentially, on the album cover, I'm enthralled, for want of a better term.
What sweet world is this, honey, on the vine? School kid dreams came true, then passed in the night.
I love a good lyric.
Dream about people like you, now I don't know why.
Ooh. Like the tone of the guitar there, like the attacking the strings.
About people like you, not just get high. I get wild on you, baby. I get wild and fucking crazy like the color blue.
Color blue. Sound of the guitar strings and just gorgeous.
I get wild and fucking crazy like the color blue.
So mellow. I mean, most of the tracks are mellow, but that one just something about the tone of the guitar and with her vocal, that one just had a real lullaby quality to it, and just beautiful. That's going to be a theme, I think, throughout the album. I'll just keep repeating it. It's beautiful. Back with the piano.
Blackbirds will sing in the same key as you play in the shoes that I bought you. Baby, you, what you never knew, what I never said, is you're my living legend.
Again, simple instrumentation really, and a vocal that's very familiar, and a theme and a tone that's very familiar, but it's still wonderful to listen to. Again, it's probably a bit boring at this point because I'm just enjoying every song. Definitely some songs hit a bit more than others, and artistically and production wise some of them are a bit more impactful, but just being in her company again and just enjoying her style and the way she expresses herself with each track.
But you never cared about my name, and darling, I once you moved, sent me straight to heaven. I got guns in the summertime and horses too.
That layering again, always fun to hear.
And horses too. And baby, you, what I never said to you.
Soft and subtle
You
again.
really are my living legend.
Where has this come from? Ah. You never know what to expect. This is brilliant. Oh, I thought it was a guitar at first. Wow. Yeah, as I said, I never know what to expect. I thought we were going to be getting a familiar and just lovely tone and theme and just feel throughout that track, and then she hits us with that distortion and... yeah, that was a brilliant way to close it out. Really unexpected, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that even within songs that keep a very familiar theme and tone throughout, you still get really fun surprises in there. Hello piano, my old friend. I'll never shut up about it, I just love it. I love this as an opening for so many tracks.
What you don't tell no one, you can tell me. Little ghost all tan like milk and honey. You're very brave and very free. I push you high, cherry blossom on your sycamore tree. What you don't tell no one, you can tell me.
Loving the variation in vocal again.
Swing it high,
Always a delight when it gets low and sultry and then gets that higher register again. Again, I am a boring broken record, but just that general, you know, familiar vocal tone of hers with just a soft accompanying piano. I could have an hour of that. I could just have that on a loop playing for at least an hour, and I would just love it. And she could be singing the phone book or the ingredients to the most boring dish in the world. I don't care. I'm just enraptured by her presence. You know, those vocals and those production choices are just wonderful. And even if it bears some similarity, I feel like, to previous tracks in terms of the rhythm and the style, again, it doesn't bother me. I just enjoy listening to it. That lilting tone with the bang, ding, ding, just wonderful.
Little ghost blonde hair with lemonade tea. There's much to learn and so much to see. I push you high, Angelina, on your sycamore tree.
Yeah, another seemingly simple rhythm and vocal and musical choice, but again, it doesn't matter. It's just beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it's so hypnotizing. You know, for Christ, what, an hour and I don't know how long, sat here just looking at her face and listening to all these brilliant production choices and these wonderful vocals that shift from song to song, and sometimes within a track they don't shift by much, but it's always unique and it's always captivating.
don't have to write me a letter, 'cause I'll always be right here, closer to you than your next breath, my dear. We love every hair on your head, love you like God loves you. And you say that you're scared, my baby, unprepared for heaven, the baby blues, baby blues, baby blues. If things ever go wrong, just know this is your song, and we love you.
Oh God. I think I've heard that kind of a shift before, but just that reminded me almost like a vocal you'd hear from a 40s I don't know, Disney film, just that songbird sound. I mean, I think in keeping with the vibe of the track, it feels like a lullaby. It feels, yeah, like we're being lulled to sleep by somebody who, you know, loves us and cares for us, and just beautiful.
We love every freckle you have. We love you like God loves you. If you're ever stressed out, just dance in the night. If you get those baby blues, baby blues, baby blues. If things ever go wrong, just know this is your song, and we love you. Slippers all on the floor, woven that's over the door. It's as close as we'll get to the dream that they had in the 1960s. And if you get the blue,
The plink 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 just now, that again, just almost like a modern lullaby.
just know this is your song. It'll live on and on, way past me and you. If you get the blues, baby blues. You've got us, we've got you, so there's nothing to lose, and we love you. So don't write me a letter, I'll always be right here, closer to you than your next breath, my dear.
Love that lyric. What a note to end on. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, really happy to be back in Lana's company, and let me just get this out of the way now. I don't want to pick any standout tracks, because this is another one of those pieces where the whole album is a, you know, as a whole is a delight, and whenever there's a shift in tone or a variation in the overall vibe and style, that's welcome and really enjoyable, like it was with Dealer. But if every track was akin to what you heard on Cherry Blossom, or with Beautiful, or even then with Sweet Carolina, if it was all that kind of lilting piano and the same kind of vocal with, don't get me wrong, changes and inflections, if it was just an hour of that, it would have been wonderful anyway. But she doesn't just do that. She always gives you something unique and interesting, whether it's vocally or production-wise, with each track. And that's what I think, you know, makes her an artist. Somebody who's managed to become very popular, you know, akin to, obviously, you know, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish. I mean, an artist who has created something that's very them. You know, it's of them, it's their artistic vision, it's their desire to create something that's coming out, but it still manages to be, or maybe because of that, it becomes popular, and it becomes widespread, and that's a great thing. This is one of the things I've loved through the channel, is discovering pop music that has real intention to it and real, I don't know, for want of a better word, integrity. You know, artists creating art, expressing themselves in their own unique way, and just happening to strike a chord with people and being able to create, you know, global brands that will, you know, stand the test of time, and have, certainly in Lana's case. She's been doing this for a while now. I think I've got one more album to get to before we get to the latest release, and I'm excited for that now. I put it off for too long. Coming back to Lana, I waited too long. I definitely shouldn't leave as big a gap next time. So yeah, Blue Banisters, just wonderful. I really enjoyed that. But let me know what you thought, guys, please. Any of the analysis or any of the attempts to interpret songs, was I right? What were your standout tracks? Where does this rate for you in terms of her overall discography? For me, this is definitely up there. I don't like to rank, but you know, it's definitely up there. This is not a lull. This is not a bum note. This is just continuing her overall trend of just being a great artist that I'm really happy I've discovered. So yeah, like I say, please comment, share your thoughts, like it if you liked it. And goodbye forever.
Up! Now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed! Bloody peasant!
Halfway down the stairs is a stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. I'm not at the bottom, I'm not at the top. So this is the stair where I always stop. Halfway up the stairs isn't up, isn't down. It isn't in the nursery, it isn't in the town. And all sorts of funny thoughts run through my head. It isn't really anywhere, it's